Hey guys, welcome back to Film And as always, I'm Connor, and I'm joined by my good friend Dan.
Howdy.
And today we're talking about the 2021 Oscar nominations. So Dan, do you want to start with Academy Award nominations?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So obviously, Dan, when you talk about the Academy Awards,
Yeah.
what you're really talking about is primarily is snubs and surprises.
If we're going into the basic critique, I think we can start at kind of the bottom, some of the lesser represented categories. If you want me, I have the list ready. If you want me to just like run them off and we can talk about them real quick. So real quick, we have the Oscars coming up in about a month. I'm sure we'll talk about it. But right now the nominations just came out, and I guess to start off, makeup and hairstyling. No surprises. We got, do you know Pinocchio? I don't know that film.
The new Roberto Benigni Pinocchio, where he plays Geppetto now instead of Pinocchio.
Oh, like it's an actual...
It's a live action, like Pinocchio adaptation.
Oh,
yeah.
I completely missed that. Totally off my radar. Okay. Mank, Ma Rainey, Hillbilly Elegy, and Emma for makeup and hairstyling. Mm-hmm. So I think you all know who we are rooting for.
Yeah, the Andy winner for Best Production is the one we are rooting for.
Yes. Yeah. This is one that definitely interested me, and this is kind of a weird choice for me, and I want your thoughts on it, Connor. For film editing, we have Trial of Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Promising Young Woman, Nomadland, and The Father. And at the end of the day, what goes into film editing? Like, what goes into this category? Is it just merely, like, the visual cut editing? Is it, like... Because there are separate categories for sound mixing and sound editing and stuff like... So is this mostly, like...
I think it's mostly the cut, from what I gather.
Yeah. So...
The rhythm of the movie.
I'm not against some of these picks, but at the same time, it feels like a category to just beef up the nominations for other movies that were nominated. Because I look at films like Sound of Metal and Trial of Chicago 7, which I both liked... Their editing didn't impress me at all. It wasn't revolutionary. It didn't like edit in a certain way where it felt seamless or any, like it didn't do anything that felt worthy of a nomination. I think it was other places it like deserved credit, obviously. Yeah. But for here, I was just surprised to see Sound of Metal and Trial of Chicago 7 for film editing.
No, those are the two that stand out to me as kind of like head scratchers.
Yeah.
But in terms of like Nomadland and Promising Woman, obviously I think those deserve to be in the editing category. Those two films are incredibly edited. And I still haven't seen The Father, which I'm going to say a couple times during this segment, I'm sure. But I'm sure that film's edited very well as well.
Yeah. Next up, visual effects. Some interesting picks. Tenet, not surprised. The One and Only Man, haven't heard about that one.
One and Only Ivan?
Oh, crap. Sorry. I just brushed by it. The I in a V. The I in the V looks like an M to me. I'm insane. The One and Only Ivan, Mulan, Midnight Sky, and Love and Monsters. Definitely makes sense here. It's interesting to see Midnight Sky getting a nod for visual effects, though I haven't seen it. It sounded to me like a more stripped back film, but I mean, it's cool to see that's getting some credit.
Yeah. I think from what I gather, I'm probably dead wrong. The CGI is mostly like background enhancements and things like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a little controversial. I don't think Mulan should be on this list.
No, you're not. I'm with you. It shouldn't be.
I don't think it.
I feel like
not really impressed by the
VFX. This is for me the Academy being like, this is such a scant year for visual effects. I guess we'll put Mulan in there.
It's not just because it was our winner, but having Mulan there and not having Invisible Man is kind of bonkers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Academy has a proclivity for excluding films of the horror genre.
Yeah.
They don't see them at the same level as some of these more like dramatic films, which is too bad, but whatever. Moving on, original score, The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. Good picks.
Yeah, I think this
all
is
around.
The
I ended up listening to the original scores of The Five Bloods and Minari and News of the World, the three I haven't seen, which I'm fine with all of those. Mank was fine for score. I don't remember it a lot. Soul was just good and pretty. Nothing out of the ordinary for a Pixar film. But yeah, fine picks.
No, I think this is the only nod for The Five Bloods, which is interesting. Could be wrong on that. Is it the only one or am I bonkers?
I thought I saw it twice.
I will look on IMDb.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, that's it. It's the only one.
Is it really?
Yeah, I checked.
Wow. Yeah. Anything deserving nod. That's one I considered for best score at the Andes. I like that Reznor and Ross are on here twice. I think that's fun.
Yeah, that's.
They're very talented musicians, so it makes sense.
It was a good year.
For me, and I think a lot of people agree with me on this, Soul is the front runner this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes that, especially because this next category that we're now moving on to, Achievement in Sound, which is Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. And as much as I wish this didn't feel like, I'm torn because it should go to Sound of Metal. It deserves to go to Sound of Metal, but I know why it will go to Sound of Metal. And it's going to go to Sound of Metal because they don't want to give Sound of Metal anything else. It got a bunch of noms. They will give it Achievement in Sound because it's about a man who's going deaf and it does things with sound, and then that's all we're going to hear from it the whole night. That's kind of my prediction. And it's kind of sad. I'm really worried that other nominations in other categories are just going to be well, Sound of Metal got the sound one, and that's what the movie's about. But that movie does so many other things better, I don't think it'll get recognized, which is you can respond to this. I'm just...
Yeah, here's the thing, Dan. I think Sound of Metal is a lock to win. On
It-
my
it
Oscar
feels
ballot,
like a
that's
lock.
getting a big old circle.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's the movie about sound, So, of course it won't. But, and I do want it to win. I just want it to get, Riz Ahmed, I think, drop the performance of the year.
Chadwick should win, which we'll get to those
We'll
nominations
get to
later.
yeah, eventually.
But I think Riz Ahmed has a chance to steal it. I think he does. If there is going to be a surprise in that category, it's either going to be him or Stephen Yeun.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess moving on from that, cinematography, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and Trial of the Chicago 7. This is another interesting one. Again, I haven't seen Judas or News yet. I've seen Mank, Nomadland, Trial. Nomadland, yes. Mank, sure. I know some people have issues with how that thing was shot, but for what it was trying to achieve, I think it did a good job. I personally appreciated it. It made it watchable. It made that film watchable for me. And Trial, no. What? No. This is something I actually do want to highlight because I took 7 of the Oscar-nominated films for Best Picture, and I counted how many other noms they have. Now, I kept it to Trial, Sound of Metal, Promising Young Woman, Nomadland, Mank, Judas, and The Father, because I haven't seen Minari, and I didn't really keep up on how many they got. But Mank has the most with 9.
10.
You have The Father, Nomadland, Sound of Metal, Trial with 6, and then Judas and Promising Young Woman with 5.
Yeah.
A really interesting split.
See, I don't know if I said it on here or not, but I've been saying for a while Mank is going to be the most nominated film of the year.
And it
is.
Yeah.
It's just had a lot of buzz in a lot of different categories.
I have a feeling it will be the Joker, where it gets mad noms and then only wins 1 or 2.
Mank should not be in cinematography.
No,
I'm gonna say that.
I think it.
I think I get what they're doing. They're going the time period. They're purposely degrading the digital image and putting cigarette burns in the corner. Here's my tea. Actually, just shoot the movie on black and white film.
Oh, interesting.
Don't shoot it in color, and then make it black and white, and then add cigarette burns in the corner and scratches on the film. Just actually film it on black and white. Put cigarette burns in the corner and scratch the film.
Wow.
Don't
you sound like a pretentious
I know.
film boy right now.
I know, but it's just
You're
it's a bummer.
It's not real.
It's not. Here's the thing, and it's not real.
I would imagine some people literally just don't have the talent and time and money to do that, and they still want to achieve that effect.
If it wasn't Netflix, I would agree with you. Netflix gives their directors blank checks to do whatever they want. Fincher could have shot this on film. Yeah. He just didn't. and that's the bummer.
I'm
Do you know who shot on film and scratched it?
What?
Quentin Tarantino for Death Proof.
Yeah, because it's Quentin Tarantino. He's
a
purist, man.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. Does it? But not everyone should have to want to do that. Like, I'm with it getting a best cinematography because the finishing product still looks good. I don't care how it got there.
I don't think it looks good.
I think it looks fine.
I think it looks digital and fake, and I don't like it.
Well, I think that's the effect.
It's supposed to look fake?
Well, yeah, it looks very touched up. That's the point. It's a very stylized film, but it does it so consistently. I don't mind it at all. Like, it made that movie watchable. At least I got to kind of enjoy the image on an otherwise pretty bland, uninteresting story.
No. But also, when you said Trial, we both shook our heads. Trial shouldn't be here either.
For cinema, no.
Like,
I feel like the Academy is like lessening other categories like cinematography because they want to give other best picture, like films. They choose like the best picture, and then they see what other nominations can we give these films to justify that it's getting best picture. So they just pop in Trial and Mank in like 3 or 4 other categories just so it seems like it's not a weird pick for best picture.
The cinematographers are the ones that decide cinematography in the Academy.
Even then, it's like...
Here's the thing. Things campaign, and it's just things that obviously are going to be nominated for other awards. They're nominated for this too because they have huge Oscar campaigns for like every category.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen News of the World yet, but Judas and Nomadland, I'm incredibly happy are here.
Yeah,
I think either of those two, if it wins, is way more than deserving.
Those two, I think, will be the deserving ones.
I think Nomadland's got it. I really hope so.
God, I hope.
Because that is the most gorgeous movie of the year. So hopefully it does actually get the win.
Moving on, director, we have Thomas Vinterberg, Another Round. Interesting addition.
Yeah, very big surprise.
David Fincher for Mank. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman. You must be happy to
I'm very happy,
see her on there. Yeah, I'm happy with all of these picks. I'm fine with it. Who do I want to win? Any of them that's not Fincher, I guess. And that's nothing against David Fincher. I just think he's made better films.
Mank is his worst movie.
Yeah. Director, really quick one, just whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah.
No, I like 4 out of the 5 picks.
Another round, huge surprise. Vinterberg taking the spot that would have gone to Sorkin. So good. Yes, Thomas Vinterberg. I like Another Round. It's a good movie. David Fincher shouldn't be here. Hate to say it, my guy. I love you, David Fincher. I haven't yet to see Minari. I'm really excited to check that out. But Nomadland and Promising Woman, incredibly glad they're there. Dan, this year, the Academy Awards, they made a lot of history. This is the first time 2 female directors have been nominated in the same year.
Yeah.
It's also the first time a Chinese-American woman has been nominated, and that's Chloe Zhao.
Hey, and maybe one of them will actually win. Who knows?
Here's the thing. Chloe is the front runner. And as much as I love Emerald Fennell and A Promising Woman, which I just got the Blu-ray today.
Chloe Zhao all the way, dude.
Yeah, I think Chloe Zhao is going to win. And she deserves to win. I love Nomadland. It's a great movie.
All right, yeah. Moving on, we got actor in the leading role, Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman, Mank, and Steven Yeun in Minari. I want Riz Ahmed. I loved his performance. It was one of my favorites of the year. I want Riz Ahmed. It will probably go to Chadwick, and deservingly, because he's my number 2. Anthony Hopkins kind of feels like the Meryl Streep at this point, where he's just kind of getting a nod for I don't know, doing anything.
Apparently he is amazing in The Father. No one's seen it, but apparently he's amazing in it.
Gary Oldman and Mank. No, I mean, no, like, I love Gary Oldman, but not for this.
No, it's the same thing as Darkest Hour. He's being nominated for, like, one of his worst performances.
Yeah.
It's just a real bummer.
And then Steven Yeun, haven't seen Minari, so probably might be good. I don't know.
I've heard he's great. Which, here's the thing. I hope it's Chadwick. I do think of these 5, it is the best performance of the year, hands down. Riz Ahmed being a close second, and obviously, like I said, I haven't seen The Father
it's funny,
or
all
Steven
ones
Yeun.
and twos are switched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Chadwick deserves it. Also, with him dying, I think this is obviously his only chance to get that kind of recognition.
Yeah. Unless they James Dean him.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But I think Chadwick deserves to win. I think he will win it. But I Other than obviously we'll never be able to honor him, I would not be against Riz Ahmed getting it.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I guess moving on to actress in a leading role, Viola Davis, Ma Rainey, Andra Day for U.S. versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. Again, for the three I've seen, and the three I'm sure you guys know we've seen, Ma Rainey, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman, I'm fine with any of those wins. The three of them were great performances. No hate to Andra Day and Vanessa Kirby. Haven't seen them, so I'm just...
No hate to Vanessa Kirby, but you don't need to see Pieces of a Woman.
Oh, dang, really?
That movie is atrocious.
Wow. Hey.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Here's the thing, she's very good in the movie, but it's a thing where she has like two, like, these are her Oscar moments. And that's like the basis of her performance.
Okay.
No, the first 28 minutes of the movie is one take.
Cool.
And it's incredible.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, it's not great. Carey Mulligan has quickly become the front runner, which is very interesting to me. And I think she does deserve the win. But like you said, I would be for her, Frances, or Viola winning it. Yeah. All three of them are incredible.
Moving on. Original screenplay. We got Judas, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7.
Get Trial out of there yet again.
Whoa. I don't hate Trial as much as you. I think...
I don't hate Trial. I just don't think it deserves that place.
I think it does. I think the screenplay and the performances, all the strongest part. Like, the directing is not nomination worthy. The cinematography and editing are not nomination worthy. But if I'll give Trial of Chicago any nods, it will be original screenplay and performances. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's Sorkin's worst. It's still Sorkin. I still think he does some cool stuff with it. I still think all the actors are trying, and I think they deserve to be trying, and I'm happy to watch them.
No, Dan, they're being tried.
That's awesome. Yeah, original screenplay. They all seem fine. They're good. This is the theme for me in the Oscars this year. I do kind of not care that much about all the categories. Nothing's like blowing my mind or making me mad or being like I'm just like whatever.
I'm very glad to see Judas here. I've yet to read any of these screenplays, sadly. I guess, yeah, so Trial, I guess it's his weakest. I'm just a little jaded on the Sorkin of it all. But, yeah, I'm hearing. As far as, like, Judas, Young Promising Woman, and Sound of Metal go, incredible scripts. I'm happy, Dan, that Derek Cianfrance is now an Academy Award nominee.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah, congrats, Derek. Yeah.
I will be on his podcast. That's the one Derek I will be on his podcast.
But yeah, moving on, adapted screenplay, very different category, a very different list of movies right here. We got White Tiger, One Night in Miami, Nomadland, The Father, and the Borat subsequent movie film. Man, this is the first of two nods. Well, three nominations for One Night in Miami, because it's got one, I think, original song.
Yeah.
Along with, as you'll see, well, we'll get to the next one. But adapted screenplay, One Night in Miami, please. Guys, don't mess this up, guys, please. I enjoyed this so much. The screenplay is what really made me enjoy this so much. I love a good screenplay. It's really too bad that One Night in Miami has to be in this with Nomadland, because that also might take it. But
it's one of the other.
It better be Nomadland or One Night, because again, I haven't seen The Father, haven't seen White Tiger. I don't see why Borat would get it. I guess they gave it to Borat because it was kind of relevant to 2020, sort of.
The first Borat also got a screenplay nod. The thing with the Borat movie is the screenplay was technically written afterwards, because they're real people, and they're just like transcribing what the real people said.
Which is weird.
It is technically a screenplay. I think it's interesting. The Academy website says written for the screen for Chloe Zhao, but not for Borat. So I feel like it should be the other way around. Mm-hmm. It's just interesting.
I guess moving on, actor in a supporting role, Sacha Baron Cohen for Trial, which was interesting. Sacha Baron Cohen had a bigger year than I thought he would.
Yeah,
with
getting 2 noms.
With Borat and Trial. That was interesting. Derek Kaluuya, Judas and Black Messiah. We got Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami. I wonder who I'm rooting for. Connor.
Yeah.
Paul Raci, Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas. So you have 2 of the actors.
You have Judas and the Black Messiah in this category.
Which is, let's be honest, kind of annoying that one of them, they got shoved into the same category.
There's a lot of, because no one knows how this happened. Because they were campaigning Daniel for supporting and Lakeith for lead. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the Academy, despite what studios suggest, they decide ultimately what goes in each category.
Yeah.
So now for the people are theorizing, they viewed it like Trial of Chicago 7, where like, oh, they're both they're both supporting or they're both leads. So there's just a lot of like votes for each of them in different categories. Yeah. And I think it just ended up like Lakeith got a bunch of nods for lead and like, actually, we think he's supporting. So they shoved him here.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's still a nom, but I would have liked I would have liked to see, I guess, Lakeith in the lead
and here's the thing,
role.
Also, I'm glad I can say Academy Award nominee Lakeith Stanfield now.
Heck yeah, we did it, guys.
But here's the thing, really quick.
Yeah, I mean, really quick, Leslie Odom Jr., please. I would
hope
love
it's Daniel Kaluuya.
Really?
I hope it's Daniel Kaluuya. Because obviously Judas was not eligible for the Andes because we saw it later.
Yep.
But Daniel Kaluuya deserves this 100,000%. I love Leslie Odom Jr. It's between those two. Either of those two, I'm not going to be. Here's the thing, any of the 4 lower ones, as long as it's not Sacha Baron Cohen, I'm going to be pretty thrilled.
Again, yeah, it's like this always happens where it's like it's almost in a way kind of like the Grammys, you know, like giving Kendrick Lamar a bunch of awards for Damn. When
Can you say that on the radio?
Damn, yes.
Okay.
I've said it before, dude.
Okay, I'm making sure.
Yeah. Where you have these big award institutions that like wait for an artist to drop one of their best performances or their best projects, and then they like award them on the next one because they're kind of too scared to give it to him that time. They're like, oh, we'll get you on the next one, but now we know that you're worth it. Like, exactly. Oh, you dropped something good. Like, it's like all the stuff that Damn got probably should have gone to Pimp a Butterfly. Everything Sacha Baron Cohen has done, he's probably should have gotten it not for this.
Yeah.
Like, I respect him as an actor, but not for this. Like, he's done other stuff.
See, I agree with you, but I think they're going to slightly change it around. I think I think they regret not giving Daniel the win for Get Out, and I think that's going to help him here.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get it here. Here's the thing, he should have won for both, but I think he's going to get it here.
Did he not? Oh my God, he didn't get it.
He lost to Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, which is atrocious.
That's nuts.
But the one person in that category that didn't deserve to win that year.
All right, moving on. Actress in a supporting role. Interesting picks. We got Maria Bakalova for Borat. Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy. I did see that coming. Olivia Colman. She's back.
She's back.
That is so cool for the father. Amanda Seyfried for Mank. And Yoon Yoo-jung for Minari. Apologies if I missaid that one. But yeah, it's honestly, I kind of want to see Olivia just back up on the stage.
I love Olivia Colman. I have not seen Hillbilly Elegy or The Father or Minari, so I am kind of at a loss for this category a little bit. But I've heard nothing but great things about Olivia Colman and Young Jun Yoon, which I hope I'm saying that right too. The fun thing, Dan, I don't know if you heard, Glenn Close.
Yeah.
Nominated for a Razzie and an Oscar for the same part this year.
Weird.
Yeah. That's only happened a couple times before.
Huh. What's a Razzie? Is that like
it's like the anti-Oscars, like the worst movies of the year
win Razzie Awards. A bunch of cynical film critics?
It's not even critics. I don't know who like even the committee of the Razzies is, but yeah, it's like the worst movies of the year. They're always the day before the Oscars too. There's been a time it was for a different movie, but Halle Berry won a Razzie and an Oscar, like the one day after the other. Like she won the Razzie first, and the next day she went and grabbed her Oscar.
Awesome. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, actress in a supporting role. I'm just interested to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Maria Bakalova. I'm not a huge fan of that movie, but she's incredible in it, and she's got a lot of buzz right from the start. So I'm really happy for her. She actually found out about the nom in the middle of a take. She's in Judd Apatow's new movie. So there's the middle of a scene, and Judd just like screamed apparently, her like Maria, and she was like did I do something wrong? And he's like, no, you got an Oscar nom. I like that Judd Apatow just like ruined one of the takes of his movie to like scream like, you got an Oscar nom.
Worth it. That's awesome. All right, moving on. Last one, Best Picture. Some really exciting names. The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7. Yeah, I've seen a bit over half of these, and it won't be any surprise that I'm just going to quickly say, personally, I hope it goes to Nomadland. It just won't go to Sound of Metal. There's no way it goes. But so I guess I'm going to back the front horse with Nomadland and hope it goes to Nomadland. And other than that, I guess that'll be it for me. I don't really need to say anything on Best Picture.
So Dan, I hope it goes to Nomadland too. And Nomadland is the front runner.
That's good.
Right behind Nomadland is Trial of the Chicago 7.
That's scary.
Which I feel I've not seen The Father yet, like I mentioned, but that's the one movie that does not deserve to be here.
I think it's easy to look back and give that movie a lot of hate.
I don't even hate the movie. It's just it's not. Here's the thing. Actually, Mank doesn't deserve to be here either.
I was gonna say for sure. I would take Mank,
especially
out.
When things like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom are not here.
Yeah.
So
I would put Ma Rainey over Mank.
Or One Night in Miami.
Oh, One Night in Miami. Yes. Dear God.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, these are just our personal picks.
Yeah.
And you
guys we're not the Academy.
And this is something. We're the Andes. We're out there. We're crazy like that.
Yeah.
And I also there's something I really do want to mention. If you guys haven't noticed up to this point, the one movie that was not mentioned at all, True History of the Kelly Gang.
Yeah.
And I know we weren't going to see it. I knew that. But I just want you guys, I think this is a good example to notice, like, hey, you see a movie like True History of the Kelly Gang that two nobody film boys gush over, it's never sees the light of day for the Academy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because you look at, that's a pretty like high profile film that just doesn't get recognition. And
at the very least, last year Lighthouse got a cinematography nom,
which was insane.
Yeah.
And nice. But yeah, I guess what I want to say from these Oscar noms is watch True History of the Kelly Gang.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like, you don't need the Oscars if you got the Andes.
Yeah, watch True History. Very good movie.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It wasn't going to get a nom here. We knew that already. Mm-hmm. I had my fingers crossed for cinematography a little bit, but I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, like, whatever.
So, Dan.
Yeah, I guess we'll, take a quick PSA break. We will return talking about the new Russo Brothers film, Cherry, starring Tom Holland.